Hello everybody, welcome back. And today we're actually going to be in Ephesians and Corinthians. So put up your Bibles or get on your phone or whatever, and or just listen. And so the first one is going to be Ephesians chapter 6, 11, and 12, and it's going to be kind of like on spiritual warfare. Let's kind of talk about your spiritual suit armor and stuff. And so chapter 6, 11, 12 on Ephesians. It says, "Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wills of the devil." So basically, verse 11 is just saying, your spiritual armor of God. You don't have to physically go and buy armor and put it on, but just your spiritual armor of God, and to stand up to the temptations of the evil devil. And with that armor, with prayer and stuff, you'll be able to stand in front of the devil. Basically, he's going to try to tempt you with everything he's got, and with the power of God and the armor of God that he will protect you from it, you'll be able to refuse that temptation. And then verse 12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So basically what this one is talking about is that you don't have to physically be at war, so you don't have to physically be stabbing someone or shooting somebody or something like that, or Vietnam or something. But it's not that type of physical wars. In certain cases it can be, like if you're fighting for Jesus in that way, but this is talking about that the darkness of this world, the evils of this world, the demons, the certain people that are evil, the devil and stuff like that. You're gonna be fighting against him. That darkness in the world and the wickedness and the people who are in high places. People who are up there can be evil as well, and if you want to be able to fight against them in a spiritual way. So just saying you're sitting face to face with them or something like that, and you're arguing in a sense, which I believe the other verse talks about that. I believe you're arguing. He's giving you his points. Like, oh, this is why I shouldn't, because these are the signs that ain't real, something like that. And you give him everything you got. Like if you had a gun or something like that and you were shooting, you'd be giving the enemy everything you got. So be giving that guy everything you got, every single way, everything that pops in your mind. You should pray about it too, that you will leave that table with better points, and you'll leave that table getting that person saved. And that right there is a war, as it is. There's wars every day like that. Not always in that certain case, but in different cases. And then the next one, let's flip to it. I don't believe Corinthians is too far. This is 2 Corinthians, so it ain't that far from where we just were at. It's just a little bit ahead of it. It's the 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 through 5. And, we'll go through them one at a time. "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh." So basically, just because you're in this body, you're in your flesh, yeah, you walk in its stuff every day, but doesn't mean that you have to war after it. Which, so if you don't have to war after your flesh. So there's so much that has to do with temptations a lot too, because there's something in your body that you could feel yourself wanting to do it, or if you're physically doing something, whatever it might be. That could be, just because we're in this body doesn't mean we have to physically be in temptations at all, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we're in it, yeah, we're human, but so was Jesus. Like I said in that one video, he was a human as well, and he never did a sin ever. He never lied. He never cheated at anything or anything like that. So he never fell under the temptations of the devil when he was in that desert, and he's tempting him with the bread and stuff. So just because we're in this flesh body doesn't mean you have to fall into the sins and the temptations of the devil. And then verse 4 here says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the God to pulling down of strongholds." So I think this is talking about is basically your weapons, and it doesn't have to be, again, physically weapons. So you're not having a sword or a gun or something like that, or a tank rolling through the streets. You're not gonna, someone's not gonna scream that God don't exist. You're gonna roll up to their house in a tank, and your spiritual weapons are what you want to choose. So praying, or just really the main one's praying. You just want to keep praying and praying and praying and talking to God, and like it's good if you're like trying to work wherever you could talk to God. It's not really talking to yourself. I mean, he exists, so you're talking to him. And so, and just, you need to, whatever that person is, you need to talk to them. And don't just talk to them once and they shun you off. I mean, talk to them every single day. Even if you're just saying the same thing over and over again, eventually they're going to get it. You show them stuff in the Bible and stuff like that. Show them verses, show them videos, show them preaching lessons on TV and stuff. And what did we just read 4? Okay, so 5 says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ." So what I think this is mean is the last part. You need to keep your obedience towards him, not towards, I've said before, about false gods and stuff, not towards your cars, not, you should obey God. It's every demand, everything he tells you to do, you should do. You can't say, well, I want to go this way because I'm so close. If he's telling you to go left, then you're going to go left, not right. If he tells you to go right, then don't go left, go right. You got to listen to what he's saying to you, or what he's telling you to do. And then basically what the top part of it saying is that, people, you can see it around the world, they say stuff about it all the time. You see people worshiping false gods, you see people denying God and disrespecting him. I mean, on all the movies, don't you see people using God's name in vain? I mean, every single day, your people are using his name in vain. Both God and Jesus say, and it's not good. It's very disrespectful to do that, and it's a sin. And basically, that's, the knowledge of God, what's in the Bible and stuff, what he teaches. So what he's saying is fight against people who would, may disagree with God and stuff and may not believe in him, and keep the knowledge of God going and keeping, in people's heads and people's brains, and keep them thinking about it. That way they obey God just as much as you do. And that's what I have today. Like I said, the first one was in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 and 12, and the second one was in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 through 5. So look them up and tell me in the comments what you think. I'll see you guys in the next video.